Hello, ladies and gentlemen, my name is. Sorry, hello, everybody. My name is William or my Mandarin name, which is William. What I'm going to do is talk about. So my video is called. Oh yeah, it's right here. Why the United States is a better place to live than China? Well, I'm going to talk about that right now because I want to show you something. I live in the U.S. Okay, and I love living here. I think the United States is a great place to live. Now, I know the United States of America is not for. I guess you can say it's not for everybody, but it's for. You know. Let me look for my There it is. Okay. But let's get to the flags, because that's the problem. That's the thing we have to get to. Now, why do I think the United States is a better place to live? Well, first of all, we have to look at China's flag. First of all, look at it. It's a communist flag. You know, that's one thing that's the problem here. You know, we got the one giant star that presents the government, and then we got the four stars, little stars, that supposed to be the Chinese people following the Chinese government. You know, that's another. You know, that's a problem here. So this is a communist flag. I don't know why you want to. I don't know. Do you want a communist flag flying around the wind? That's what you're gonna see in China, because that's what it has. Your problem is living here in the U.S. That's one thing that's not good about living in China. Now, what about other things? Well. Yeah, I know I've never been there, but it doesn't mean I'm learning how bad China is. I learned how bad China is from watching on YouTube. Now, these CCP shills, these China's foreign shills, I know they live in China, but they're talking about the bad things about the US. Well, they're trash talking about the US. The problem is they hate the homeless people in the United States. Well, it is true that the United States does like about 650,000 homeless people, but these guys are just stupid, you know. And drugs and people taking on drugs. I believe there's people taking drugs and be addicted to drugs in China too. Oh, I don't know why they're not getting into that. And plus. And they're wrong, okay? There are homeless people in China too. Look, you see? 2.4 million homeless adults. And 179,000 homeless children in China. See? 3 million, see, more than 3 million people are homeless in China. 3 million. That's that's even more homeless people than the US. So you can see that these guys are wrong, okay? China has more homeless people than the United States does. Okay? And they want to believe that China has no homeless people just because they're going only to the cleanest and good places in China. Yeah, I know, that's just stupid because they're looking at the wrong places for homeless people in China. I know, they're looking at the wrong places. You see, I can look at Wikipedia right here. 3 million homeless people in China. Read the Wikipedia, it's right here. Now, if you want to read the homeless people in the United States, well, it's right here. But we're trying to, but here in the U.S., we help the homeless problem, okay? Now, so China hides their homeless people and pretend, the CCP hides China's homeless people and pretend they don't exist. And this is why it's not good, this is why. And I don't know why these CCP shows are doing is just believing in lies. But they want to believe that Western media is lying about China, but that's wrong, okay? It's the Chinese government that's lying about China. That's what they're doing. Why do I believe that Western media is telling the truth about China? Well, because that's, because they know what's going on, and we know what's going on. You know how bad it is over there. They don't need to they just want to lie because, they're bearing false witness. And the Bible says that they shall not bear false witness against thy neighbor. That's the book of Exodus and the book of Deuteronomy. I know the 10 Commandments. Well, some of them anyway. One of it is, lying is just bearing false witness. Now, I think they're going to look at the pros of living in China, but not the cons. That's the problem here. I'm not just talking about the language of Mandarin here, because, you can learn Mandarin. But these guys, I don't know what these people are doing, but they think that living in China they think that being free in China is drinking alcohol. In public. But let me get to that. Before I can get to that, let's talk about the homeless people in Taiwan. You see, there are homeless people in Taiwan too, but it's only only about 3,000 homeless people in Taiwan. That's not very much, But guess what? Taiwan has people. But guess what? The Taiwanese government is helping the homeless people in Taiwan. So yes, Taiwan is not hiding homeless people like China does. They're just helping them. See, it's just register homeless individuals and office, And plus, Louis Henry China, when he was living in Taiwan, he did make videos of the homeless people in Taiwan. He was filming the homeless people in Taiwan. So where they designed where people are helping the homeless people in Taiwan. It's only about 3,000 notes. That's not very much. Now, let me show you the pros and cons of moving or living in China. Okay, so the famous. Okay, I'm not just talking about the language of Mandarin though, because you can also, they think so. Now, I need to say, drinking beer in public, that's not free. Okay, that's not free. They're talking about doing it in the streets and stuff, but then you know what? That's not free. That's not freedom. And plus, I don't drink alcohol, okay? I hate alcohol, okay? The Bible is against alcohol, okay? The Bible says be sober and be vigilant. Okay, you pull about a Bible verse about alcohol. Here's the Bible verse about alcohol. Yeah, when you go to 1 Peter 5:8, that's what it says. Here it says right here, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil is a roaring lion, walking about, seeking whom he may devour. You see? This is why. Okay, alcohol is not good for you. It makes you drunk. And not only that, alcohol can give you liver disease, which that can kill you. Yes, alcohol can kill you, and that's and that's why I'm against alcohol. My dad got a liver disease from drinking alcohol, but he is getting better. Because he has been going to the hospital. That's why, but still. I learned from the Bible not to drink alcohol before this happens, and you should learn about how bad alcohol is. So, and drinking alcohol in public is not freedom at all. It's just if you want to do is drink something in order to get drunk, and then guess And guess what? If you get liver disease and then die from drinking alcohol, then well, the problem is that's your problem. Okay, that's your fault from drinking it in the first place. This is why I'm against alcohol, and put away the alcohol, please. And you want to believe that you have to learn a new language as well, which is Mandarin. Well, first of all, I do believe that learning Mandarin is great. It's a great language to learn. But is that freedom? It is true. Yes, you can become fluent in Mandarin in China and then talk to Chinese people in their native language. That's true, but that's still not freedom. Okay, and plus, you can get stared at and stuff. What about? It is the person I know of who is living in China, but he is talking to people in talking Chinese people in their own language. Yeah, that is chopsticks and trains. But yeah, but this is still not freedom, guys. Okay. Because you can learn Mandarin here in the U.S. Oh yeah, you can learn Mandarin in Taiwan, and still talk to the Taiwanese people learn their native language, and you can also talk, and you can also learn Mandarin here in the U.S. and talk to Chinese people here in the U.S. and Taiwan in their native, in learn yeah. So talk to Chinese people in their native language here in the U.S. and so it's same thing with Taiwanese people as well. There are some Mandarin speakers here in the U.S. too. Okay, so. And this one, and plus, I'm trying to learn Mandarin here in the U.S., but it's not easy though, and because it's in the yeah, I know the United States is an English-speaking country, but guess what? You still have opportunities to learn other languages here, like Spanish, and Mandarin, and many other languages, I believe. So here's another example. Okay, let's say because they're using drinking in public and also drinking beer in public, and you're also using this being fluent in and also learning Mandarin. Well, I can use another thing. What about this is just like, what about, because this is stupid, it's just like me saying this. Okay? That's just what about this? Well, let me tell you something. I'm always barefoot at home, but let's say they're having freedom in whatever the U.S. Well, if I was, well, okay, sorry, I do live in the U.S., but okay, let's say that if I was living in China, but okay, let me say, okay, I never been there, but let's say if I was, would I say? Because they're just like, it's just like saying, let's just say that having freedom is being barefoot in public. Okay, that's just saying that. Okay, that's just what is my experience of saying that? Well, that's another example. Let's give that example because they're using drinking beer. That's give another example of what's not freedom. Okay, they say what. Let me give it now. Let me give you an example. What's another thing that's what about being barefoot? Well, public is an example of not freedom. Well, not going to use being barefoot in public as an example of things not being free, of freedom, because that's just like saying that. Because drinking beer in public is just like it's just like saying that being barefoot in public is freedom. I'm always barefoot at home. Okay. You know what? I love being barefoot at home, and there's times I do go barefoot outside sometimes. And I was going to become wait until I become independent. Before I can worry about going barefoot outside at most places because my parents won't let me. But still, I know. But they say though, I know. But they probably just say they don't want to be barefoot because they can step on something that's sharp or, well, those are the dangers of being barefoot. Yes. But there are health benefits there are health benefits for being barefoot. You can you can make your feet stronger, and plus you'll have healthier feet too, and you can pick up pencils and pens. And I love being barefoot, okay? You know. Oh yeah, yeah, and I can also put my feet on my desk too, but yeah, it's just pretty hard for me to do because, but to show you that I'm barefoot in my house anyway. You know, yeah, I'm American and I'm barefoot in my home. Yes, and I live in the U.S. Oh yeah, if you want to prove to you I live in the U.S., well, I have an American flag. I have American flags to show you. So that's how you can prove it. Okay, I love the United States flag. And I have that flying around. That's why. That's why. You know, I live in the U.S. And where I live in the U.S., I live in California. You know. Now I want to show you. Now they're looking at the pros, but I'm gonna look at the cons too. So pros and cons of moving or living in China. Okay, let's look at that. See, the famous architectural norms, the strongest economy. Okay, sorry. So strong economy diverse. China is a popular destination for agriculture. China has many states expect paradise. Well, I don't think it's a paradise at all because I don't know why you can call. First of all, communism is not paradise. I think the United States is more like a paradise than China is, but that's giving away. There was some downloads living in South Asian giant. Okay. So pros and cons are moving or to China. Okay, it's working. Okay, so you can say, well, the pro. Yeah, so the pro is I guess you can say a robust job market. I guess China's the world's second largest economy, just behind the U.S. and to support plenty of job opportunities for various sectors, including teaching English as a foreign language, finance, innovation, and human resources. Well, first of all, they try to take that away, first of all. So I don't know why they're saying that anyway, but yeah. Another pro is expect salaries. If you're working in China, you'll enjoy it, expect quality in life, some careful budgeting, even some money away in a rainy day, but thanks to like a very practice offer, they said expenses as profitable as they were. But it's this housing affair, health insurance takes people still offer some employers. Well, I guess that's what they're looking at, but they're not looking at this part here. The con, complicated work and more application processes. Chinese work is a mega application processes and famously difficult to navigate. Each city has its own immigration neighbor processes. Unfortunately, employers take care of the bulk administration still. You will actually need to undergo an application in the same city at the company to secure a Z visa. See, that's one of the cons right there. Now, healthcare in China, well, not so great. The pro is these national wings of public hospitals. The dual incentives of Chinese public healthcare facilities of countries growing exploitation of public hospitals, Chinese local countries, and use offer a junior cost. But you can also find English-speaking stuff in these facilities. Yeah, but here's the con. See, healthcare standards of generally subpar. See, China's cities of excess of hospitals offer diverse services, and its rural areas due to public healthcare, due to no healthcare facilities. The standard case of these facilities tends to be educated and slow, while you may be frustrated of language barrier. Yeah, well, that's because of Mandarin. Now that's because of people speaking. That's because of Mandarin. But that's just keep reading. Now, healthcare insurance is expensive. Health insurance premiums in China is typically quite eggs per minute. But even if those both basic policies and additional contingent of coverage may not be a comprehensive expenditure may not used to. Now the cost, well, I guess could be affordable food, electronics, and public transport. Yeah, the cost is, your cost of insurance largely depend on lifestyle you prefer, but it would like be on Western. If you like to enjoy Western luxury food, then you'll find China's cost of living quite steep. But those who embrace, so they will produce electronics and public transport are very affordable. But that's the pro. What about this part? The con. A property of major cities and pricely. Yeah. Housing in cities such as Beijing and Shanghai are just expensive, and even of far major European cities, even moving in these regions in China, will need to budget carefully and negotiate for housing expenses, including a relocation package. See, that's another part. Now, mitigation in China. Now, these are two pros, but look at the con right here. So here, lots of housing available. See, okay, you see this, but here, there's better choice when it comes to housing in China. Most of the common type of gradation of country apartments, while freestanding houses, a few far between. You can find everything from service apartments, all flats, like big small rooms, Chinese-style accommodation facilities, and then the luxury accommodation offers indeed widespread. Yeah, okay. China's big cities such as Shanghai and Beijing are often the luxury accommodations, including service. However, it's very expensive. Whether it's the swimming pools, gyms, internet services, however, needs to come at a high cost. Well, that's because that's expensive. That's why. You see, the con is right here. Apartment sizes might be maybe small and a low and standard. While China might have variation of types of housing standards, and the country may have accessible smaller, most of it be used and recommended of touring and expect before coming into the original agreement. So you see now the safety in China. You see, pollution is a serious health hazard. China has one of the world's biggest manufacturing hubs, and the one that most activity comes pollution. Smog frequently fills airs in China's major cities and cause serious congestion. Now, in short of safety in China, you're recommended using air purifier as speaking your healthcare provider if you're the 16 medical condition. Now, drinking water is unsafe too. Now, pollution in China also affected its water quality, making it unsafe for consumption. You should be rather buy bottled water for drinking and cooking. Yeah, I know, because I learned that Chinese people only drink hot water. But that's what I heard anyway. Now you can see this. Now the Chinese schools are also a problem. But the pro is international schools abroad, yeah. Expert parameters, you'll find no trouble suitable many of the international programming offers of countries. While the others are countries curriculum, okay. But let's look at the cons. That's what we need to learn about. Here, yeah. See, the combination international of schools and staff. Although there are international schools in China, the condition of places are low, and the indigenous schools have long waiting lists. And visits are also quite involved, including placement tests and choosing of abundant forms for parents to fill out. And here's the con. Okay, public schools advise learning after critical thinking. Now, the parents, where you have driven assuming of local culture may of the schools. Public schools are in China having advice of learning and cramming usually involves children spending most of their day at school and even after school lessons. Now you can see the game on China. Now, yeah, the pro is transport options. You see, China has huge traffic size, only fitting for the public transport options like bus, Ferries, metros, and taxis are available in most China cities. Working and cycling popular in China, but largely free, healthy commute. Yeah, I know. I know the super shows are always fascinating about the trains and subways in China, and they think the horn they think the sound of their horn is so great, and they think the trains suck here in the U.S. Well, I know but I learned about Matthew type of Highway 6, about China's bullet trains crashing, and that's not good either. You see, and I think bullet train, and I heard that bullet trains are I know, and people are planning to build bullet trains in the U.S., but it's going to take time. I guess we have, and plus I can talk about bullet trains in another video anyway. The driving is chaotic. Driving in China is most likely an expensive expert. One of the world's populous country. China's traffic congestion is severe, parking is limited, and driver rarely have regulations. These are the most experts who buying a car in China hire a local driver. See? This is why. And here it is. Experiences so 8 reasons of not to live in China. I'm going to talk about that now. See? So it says right here. Oh, let me close that part. So it says right here. It says I arrived in China in early 2014 and left in 2019. To everyone who I just described for these 5 years, most memorable of my life, and that's not a lie. I loved it. However, I understand there are many aspects in foreign China you do not necessarily enjoy. Living in the country is so different. In most democratic countries is a challenge, but because it's an autocratic country, that's why. In this article, I could be most honest. I would not move back to China if someone might consider moving to the east. Be warned, I'm going to scare you a little bit. So number 1 is the food. If you ask around a Chinese person in the West, most of the countries, 2 answers: their family and the Chinese food. We'll just find why is loads of foreigners so excited to go to China and taste the fast steak of Chinese cuisine? Well, I hate to break this to you, but the Chinese food in China isn't very good. Most of the foreign region students expect friends end up constantly buying food and 4 restaurants in Beijing and Shanghai. After nearly 5 years in China, I eat the Chinese food maybe once or twice a month, and madness, but necessary to survive. What's wrong with the Chinese food in China? First of all, meat quality is terrible, and so is complicated of eating meat in Chinese local restaurants, and after getting sick several times. If you want this, I would suggest your article called Secondly, there's about 20% chance of becoming quite ill every time. I went to local restaurants, and it's not necessarily for hygiene. It's not necessarily a hygiene problem, but bacteria flora is very different in China to compare to my home country. And now the growing nationalism. I don't want this article to become very political. However, most Chinese people living in the country have been taught by the Chinese Communist Party (CCP) to be extremely loyal to the party to China. But I arrived in 2014. It was a problem. Xi Jinping is just what recently coming as a president, dictator. He's not yet promoting national ideas, as what he's famous for. Well, that's because you're not. Because here in the U.S. you're allowed to vote, but in China you're not voting because you don't have it yet. Plus, you can't vote because you're just being ruled by a dictator. And I do believe that Chinese people do want to have the right to vote, but you can't have that when you live in a dictatorship. But you can't do that when your country is in a dictatorship. You know. And a big shift in the area towards in China. Towards China. In 2014, that's when most people were super friendly and nice to foreign friends, but they loved us to buy vegetables and in Chinese, but most that stopped us on the streets and asked for photographs. They changed rapidly over the next few years. These are the main aspects of the last year of Shanghai. Most of the some random Chinese guy entered a nightclub full of foreigners while shouting, "I hate foreigners. I love China." He started to go mental of various white people inside the club. He eventually stopped his guards and was not given opportunities and governments. After all, it was foreigners he attacked. And in restaurants, dinner with some friends, he waited and said, "Hong Kong is part of China." Well, this is really the first thing it said to me, but coming out of the blue. Well, if you want to believe that, okay. Then now 2 innocent Canadians are getting taken as hostage because Canada, okay, arrested criminal Huawei CEO. Tuesday, how far the CPA is writing go in order to punish foreigners in China. Read a board about, what about the growing nationalism in China? So this guy, Matthew Tai from Lawa 86, has made a video about the perfect explains the growing nationalism in China. Very good reason not to move to China as a foreigner. You see? And he has like about 1 million subscribers. Now air quality. Even the air quality has improved over the years. It's still terrible in China, really terrible. In fact, researchers claim about 2000 to 2016, about 30 million people, 30 million Chinese people have died prematurely due to poor air quality. Wowzers! Sometimes I walked home from the university in Beijing, and I couldn't learn quite to taste the smog inside my mouth. The university in Guangzhou, my apartment did not take more than Guangzhou. My apartment didn't take more than 15 minutes. Okay, and reading the article about how it is to live in Beijing during the most popular year in history. You can read most of the clicking here. Now living costs in China is no longer cheap. Yeah, I know it's expensive. If you eat, drink, and live in an apartment and good life in Beijing or Shanghai, you have to pay up. Even I'm Norwegian. So this guy is I guess is from Norway, but I felt that China has become quite expensive at the time. And the company that gave me about 15,000 RMB a month, which is the yuan, yeah. Okay. In Shanghai, it doesn't get you far if you want to be comfortable in a Western lifestyle. Luckily, you have a couple of income sources. If not, you will probably leave sooner. So make sure if you're sure to make sure that you enter China with a full wallet, and you have a good study expense job. Okay, yeah. Now cost of living in Shanghai. Well, it's the features of cost of quite well. The things are super cheap in Shanghai. Other things are super expensive. Let's be real. You don't want to buy local food and live in a crap apartment, and with cockroaches while you live abroad. Now this guy is from, this is from Kaja Kubeka. Alright, so now, who are the always people around you? Coming from a country less than 5 million people, I used to walk my dog in its hometown, that's put in the way. Even walking at 4 o'clock on a Monday from a nightclub, you'll still meet people every corner. You could never take a 360 turn out seeing other people or other person in China. Let's get out of here. I started to feel sick of having the subway before, where the number of people to come together make you feel like a fish in a tuna box. Remember last year in China, I took a taxi back and forth work every day because I was sick of having all the people surrounding me. And okay, there's this video uploaded from BBC. Literally, I feel it every day. Yeah, I know. So yes, if you're not a fan of crowds, don't go to China. That's the answer. Well, yes, it does get crowded in China, and it gets even more crowded than here in the US. Now the visa situation. Let me get this break to you. Getting a visa in China isn't easy. We often have agents of some of them create stuff behind the scenes in order to keep you in that country. I feel the hate feeling that not knowing whether or not I can stay in that place or whether or not I will leave very soon. Over 5 years I stayed in China by these different types of visas. I'm not joking. Long-term visas are a master degree. Short-term student visas are language school, tourist visa, business and work visa. I can open about now, but the reason why I never go back to China is unless something drastically happens to the big situation. As a foreigner, you're a second-class citizen. I got so tired of being a second-class citizen after 5 years in China. Let me give it some experiences by me. Several Chinese websites are required and a Chinese national ID for registration. You always have to pay much higher than vegetables, etc. in local stores. And it's sickeningly difficult to buy tickets on buses and trains and airplanes. And local discipline in China always have a favor of a Chinese person a lot more. As a foreigner, you'll never be Chinese, and you will not be treated fairly. Now, VPN and internet. I like to use Facebook and Instagram, WhatsApp. Also, I like to read newspaper in free democratic countries. Guess what? In China, that's forbidden. Well, that's because China is an autocratic country. That's why. For the day I entered China until one day I left China, but I was a criminal, and a crime that committed every day was use a VPN in order to get access to blog websites. Due to an increased natural process, fast freedom in China is worse than ever. It's possible for someone who works online like myself, and I'm like and have a good working life in China. That's one of the big reasons why I left. Okay. Well, I'm on YouTube a lot, and I know YouTube is blocked in China too. Another thing that's not good about living in China is also mass stabbings in China. You see, you can read about that here. You see, 8 people are killed, 79 others are injured in a college campus in eastern China. It's in Yixing Jiangsu province. This was it, okay? That's another thing. You can read more about this. Another thing is Christianity persecution. See right here, 8 people are killed. Okay, in college, Eastern China, he said leaders of spud attacks have shaken the laws of violent crime. He took a place of 6:30 a.m. Huaxi Vocational Arts and Technology of the city of Yingxing Jiangsu province, according to the police statement. Further, you have CDN shows several people motionless on the ground. Some of them shown by onlookers, screens and hard in the background. As a determined of scenes and the graduate fallen exam of the graduate certificate of internship of police said and investigation ongoing. The attack latest evidence did hit China, a country of 1.4 billion net, one of the lowest rates of violent crime in the world, and in string gun controls of the mass surveillance. Because that's what they are. Like about 35 million people were killed in the car, and 2 people that are exciting of the something of Zhuhai in the in the country's deadliest known attack on the public. In the decade, 40 others were injured. As news of the expected censors of the take down online videos attacks of modern social media discussions. October, police around 50-year-old man of stumbling attacks of elementary school Beijing and injured 5 people, including 3 children. Yeah, that's another thing you have to. But that's nothing you can. But this is another thing you have to face in China. Mass stabbings. That's another thing you have to face in China, and that's not good either. Now, Christian persecution is another thing you have to face in China. See? You see, what does it look like? Well, China contains the world's largest persecuted church under the reign of the current president, Xi Jinping, who took power in 2012. Freedoms are rapidly deteriorated. China has officially tolerated churches and Catholic sedation, and then Protestant subject movement. But the majority of the Protestant health churches, they are illegal. State tolerates them. The pressure of the minister of control of the number of manufacturing goods of the Christian persecution in China. See, but all churches are bring pleasure of praise of the lot of President Xi and the express of angelology based invasion of the gospel and the intensity of the agendas of the Communist Party. The directives of 2018 required churches links of the with overseas occasion of faith and addiction. China is not called a state of big brother of big data. And the Christians are often surveillance and for tough their phones additionally of the systems like loyalty ruling regime. Now, Christian leaders are often refused for the government and they expect a local terms of imprisonment. Bibles can be brought to the TCM churches while it's not generally safe. Christians literature find even online is still hard. Still in the words of Beijing pastor, because we have to pay. Cost of the gospel grows, and even the curious who this Jesus is, and we're prepared to risk all to follow. You see, you can't become a Christian. You see, and you can't criticize, and they hate political stuff, so you can't criticize the government in China. And plus, I learned from Matthew Tai that you can't play video games in China either. They hate video games over there. Well, they're being restrictive on video games, that's for sure. But not only you can't criticize the government, you can also, you'll get persecuted if you're a Christian. So that's how I know it's not freedom. Now you can, now criticizing, now you're free to criticize the government in the United States, but what about criticizing, you see? Right here, it says right here, although the 1966 Constitution of freedom of speech, the Chinese Constitution used as the second power protection to each other, the causes of the law system imprison those who criticize the government. If you criticize the government in the Chinese government, in China, you'll be put in prison, and that's not good. So that's not freedom. and I just have to Google it. See, it's right here on women, and it's right here on the human rights. Let's talk about the human rights in China, and China doesn't have any human rights or any animal rights either. Now, and also video games are banned in China too, see? Right here, see, it says right here, the adverse effects of first radio 2000. Change the CP has been for consoles of 8 or 2000 speed includes inside gaming contact readers. You see? Those are the banned video games. You can read about right here. See, it says right here. Right here. So China has could be banned video game console 2000 for your niche into video games like use and. You see, you can read how bad this video game. You can read about you can see how bad you can't play. Yeah. So yeah, China's restrictive when it comes to video games. On playing video games. So that's why it's not good. See? So I try to tell you, yeah, China's a terrible place to live. And I don't think, and to me, you should not go there or move. You should not move there. You should stay here or move here in the U.S. Now, I'm going to show you the pros and cons of living in the U.S. Okay? Why is the U.S. a lot better place to live than China? Well, let me show you. Okay? Now, taking advantage of the United States or working in America is a good place to live. We have advantages and disadvantages of living as experts. So, much of the Jason movie United States is right for you. Pros and cons of the U.S. On one hand, unglamorous images of famous. Yeah, living the American dream. Well, at the expense of India and living in the U.S. Let's see reasons to move in the USA. It says this is remain now. Okay. And the do is real and okay, see before you start our homes or families, now look at the benefits of the US and later the cons. Now, America is beautiful in every way. You see the highest adventure of houses coming in the world. You see. Okay, yeah. Okay, so Better is perfect in the United States and capital of venture of $54,084. It's going to okay, America technology, America, and reduce in your corner. Yeah, see, America's large guarantee of perfect climate. See. See, the United States of perfect climate in Florida. California, which is the state I live in, and also Hawaii. Options are good weather, and I prefer cooler. Georgia, Louisiana, and Pennsylvania are great ideal, but I prefer if you're for cold Minnesota and Maine, I mean, some of your colder states in the USA, but affections are great. Turn it up. Devil's Tower National Monument. See, now large suspension Matthew homes, affordable places. Pro expediency friendly expedition of good experience. Where you can find your idea of heaven. Pro is abundance of restaurants awaits you. See. Pro small and family towns. Pro cars are cheap, run dual fuel prices. And then pro, there's no language barrier as English is spoken everywhere. And equivalent to the shopping experiences. Pro is healthcare is second to none. Okay, pro is super high standards of schooling. See? Pro is America is just top universities. Pro America is hugely diverse in culture. You can read more about that here. Now, pro is excellent air transport makes traveling easy and efficient. Now, pro is moving and located to the USA is easy. And pro, there's no need to travel abroad for holidays. Pro, you get to follow. You can follow the American dream, but you could also be a Christian, have the Christian dream in the U.S. as well. The cons of the USA is for now the cons. Now cons of the USA is for experts. Okay, now getting work. So getting a work visa, a green card is hard. Yeah, the dollar of a strong currency. A car is vital to get around. Well, yeah, that is true, but not everywhere, because I could walk to Starbucks, and I could walk to my church, and I could walk to Kaiser. Yeah, that's true. The United States does have no free health service, and in hidden sales taxes, and then tips are expected, yes. Yeah, gun violence is a problem in the U.S., and dirty cities could be a problem, too. American TV has poor reputation as well. Yeah, and you can miss your family, too. See, the concrete Americans, although living in nations of diversity and strong respect, paramount. It was developed as instruction. The people are friendly here and welcoming. Spiritual is hard to. You see, consider moving to the United States, likely of secure job and the success of America. And the offer is steady living, unfortunately, improve bigger affordable housing, schooling your children, the wonderful experiences, benefits you should enjoy. Yes, the cons of living in this country are, yes, but there are negatives of living everywhere. And it's very important not everything where it's the news is real. Even it speaks for itself. You know, advantages of moving to America, right? Advantages you might make time to move. The surprises of local belongings from the UK to USA is removals to receive what the removals cost like well. Your household, okay, which your household content and looking at your ship boxes. PSS will be able to help you. So I tell you, what is it like to migrate to the USA? Well, I'll show you. Okay, what is it like living in America? Is the question when you think of immigrating to the USA is the answer to. Okay, unfortunately, it's not a simple question to answer. The green is different sides of the United States. It's true of a blog post, and you will explore some quotations about the life in the United States. We also talk about some things because especially American culture, incredibly diverse, and culture of evangelism and social entertainment, a strong indication and invasion. You can see the United States in the country, looking at North America in the year of 2000. Okay, yeah. Yeah, about 10,000. Sorry. All right, let's go back. Sorry, this is 10 million. Sorry, so 10 million square kilometers, and the largest populations up to like 300 million people. Or it's the capital of Washington D.C. Okay, and it's the capital. And its capital is Washington D.C. It's currently out of the current US dollar, but the US states are 890 are ranking, and based off the exists working of the business their local population of 67 points, and so locals of its position and coalition of their government, and perfect if you're trying to stay local, stay your own business. Okay. Okay, yes, it's dollars. Leagues of a ranking of someone waiting to a business there, but the organization of 6 points, and so local for the issue of coalition the government. Perfect, you're trying to stay your local owned business. Now, it's really in terms of the conception of life in the United States, as if it was all about money. This is to me is important for American society. Of the life of making money is Americans' hard work. As it is of the question always could be whether it could be real some parts and country. There's also some parts of the U.S. that experience extreme weather conditions. Hurricanes to blazers, hurricanes are no strangers to bad weather. What is it like living in America? Okay. Its answer depends who you ask. There's no size fits at all. The answer of generalities and shared general. The Americans are hardworking, friendly people who believe in the American dream. But there are good things about living in the United States. America has a strong economy and opportunities and good, excellent condition. But the United States, for the stars, however, in 2020, 50 million Americans have immigrants, so 34 million other country life. And like the United States, it may not be perfect, but it is a great place to live. So yes, why live in the United States? The most popular is the United States population of people from all over the world. The good reasons is right in job market, study of natural beauty and vibrant culture, and the U.S. has something to offer to everyone. So the job market, the U.S. boasts robust and diverse economy, and the job of the cities of Silicon Valley and San Francisco of Chicago job market, and because of global giants like Google, Amazon, Microsoft makes interactive and professionals alike. Where advance of career technology, advance of healthcare, and other food, it provides other to achieve your professional goals. See what costs of living U.S. The territory prices are to be mostly on the inflation, but you started information of cost of living. That's looking points at factors in your country. Yeah, you can hear another facts to keep in mind. You see, you can read about living in the U.S. in the United States. It's a great experience. You see global cultures, universal languages, and about expansive for the United States, and you can find work in the USA and traveling and learning English. And making change. Okay, yeah, and then the highest number of migrants in the world. And different lifestyle can be fun. Like there's different between cultures, American culture example. And here's the quality of life, or your strong economy, high standard of living, and here, and yeah, okay, yeah. The gross domestic product is the highest in the world. The housing, well, even let's say okay, an indication is United States healthcare. Healthcare is an important part of quality of life. And recreation is another quality of life. Transportation here is a United States has a developed transportation system getting around. Or most populations navigate through as highways and roads. The accessibility, however, is not even a west cost. Like buses and trains. Oh yeah, and major airports and airlines, but just going on airplanes and stuff. And also national parks too. There's different kinds of national parks here in the U.S. And the U.S. has a high quality of life. See, the cost of living and climate and job market and much more. I know, and they're showing New York City, New York, San Francisco, California, Boston, Massachusetts, Washington, D.C., which is the capital, Seattle, Washington, Austin, Texas, and then in Denver, Colorado, Oregon, Chicago, Illinois, Los Angeles, California, and here's the conclusion. So the conclusion is living in America offers a diverse experience that could offers depending on location, and then lifestyle purposes, gives and diversity. The United States provides a good explanation the concept about of the focus of ending nuance, and she like the country's geography, world's population, diverse population. Ultimately, what's like to be America is the question to answer each shape the experience of unique blend of challenges, opportunities are found of this dynamic nation. You see, living in the United States, and plus you can become and you're free to become a Christian, and yes, you can, and because you won't get in trouble if you criticize the government here in the U.S. And if you want to criticize foreign governments in the U.S., like the Chinese government, you're welcome to do that here in the U.S. You know, because you have freedom here in the U.S. That's why. Now, another place that has freedom is, what about the democratic country of Taiwan? Yes, you can become a Christian in Taiwan, and yes, you can criticize the government in Taiwan, and yes, you're free to criticize the Chinese government if you're living in Taiwan. Because Taiwan is a democratic country, that's why. But we have to look at the pros and cons of moving to Taiwan. See, the market of every Taiwan is an issue, especially the experts of most of the nations. Using goods are looking down of shock of entering barrier because of stay in Taiwan, but there's pros of living in Taiwan. Well, here's the Taiwanese flag right here. If you want to see what the Taiwanese flag looks like, the flag of the Republic of China, which is also known as Taiwan. So the combinations in Taiwan. For most the organization needs to define unity. Organization Taiwan in different areas, and they will not take a third expense funds. Even they only speak English. The ability of taking good social media offers nation no longer just stays in Taiwan. Now, may not meet Western standards. Now, some good at Taiwan apartments not all modern, rather small. Humanity is significantly. Apartments in Taiwan can get hot and humid in the summer months, although it's a condition of cooling down result of vegetation bills. Now, the quality of life in Taiwan. Pronoun. Taiwan is safe. Taiwan is a safe destination. More of the experts are made around. It's possible to work around, and most cities even at night. Now, the air pollution is a reality. Taiwan suffers extreme air pollution, and it's of the case of a lot of cities, and such as Taipei. It's not uncommon to see residents around with face masks, along with also times where air pollution gets so bad, residents are advised to stay indoors. So yeah, it's okay. So air pollution is still a problem in Taiwan, but it's not as bad. But I don't think it's bad as China. So Taiwanese cities can be crowded. Well, that's true. Large cities in Taiwan can be crowded and noisy. The cities are densely populated, which comes as quite shock to experts. Experts have used to play it's quiet. You need some time to get used to hostile, bustle Taiwanese cities. Now, the lifestyle in Taiwan, according to 2 minutes, easy to find. Taiwan has a very expense of their downtime. It's very easy to spot $100. And Taiwan has a good of the night by sea exits the friendly of instruments of drink with and shorts of very short notice. And sheets of delicious affordable food. Yep, and Taiwan's incredible street food, delicious and friendly, can be found everywhere. And 7-Eleven instance a tasty food run, and also going out of the eating and restaurant Taiwan's affordable complaints of prices in most Western countries. Most struggles of moving to Taiwan is the language barrier. Mandarin is famously hard to learn, but those that haven't grown up speaking it, with a language so hard, you can develop excess of life. And then going to the grocery store can also back it up by even going to the doctor. Well, yes, but you can learn Mandarin in Taiwan, and you can also learn Mandarin here in the U.S. Okay, and physical education in Taiwan. You see, that Taiwan is a great core part of great events of high skill professionals. They give us a moving to Taiwan for work, and now visa education for complex. The education in Taiwan can be a complex middle style, a lot of paperwork. You see also strict conditions of getting visas. And see, research requirements can be prepared to process. Now, what about getting around in Taiwan? Well, the public transportation in Taiwan is excellent. Taiwan is large range of options, including trains, subways, and buses. That is, public transport is very cheap and makes it easy and affordable. Expats to get around on the island. Yeah, Google Maps is available. It's easy to bring a foreign experience. Asian countries have many Asian apps where home language aren't available. They said new arrivals are assured in the city use the Asian apps of Google Maps in Taiwan. Now, strict rules is public transport. You see, areas are clean and driving can be dangerous. Of the Taiwan of the areas of the Taiwan seas, there's a takeaway of the city of the expense of stick of public transport. And so temperatures can get extreme, ranging up 8 degrees, 87. Okay, and humidity of Europe, like Serbia and cons. Typhoons can be heavy rain occur frequently. You see designations of typhoon season. Typhoon season in Taiwan is actually last from July until September. And exchange of showers and the winds of these raincoats above. If you want to survive in the Taiwanese rainy season, and winters are mild. Winters are very mild. Taiwan temperatures range between 54 degrees Fahrenheit to 58 degrees Fahrenheit, 12 degrees Celsius to 15 degrees Celsius. The day temperatures of 40 degrees range below 10 degrees Celsius. So you can see is that, yeah, living in Taiwan is still, you can live in Taiwan too, but I've never been to Taiwan, so I don't know all of it yet. Yeah, but hopefully later on in the future I can visit Taiwan and find out what's it like for people that live in Taiwan, you know. And plus, Taiwan does accept dual citizenship, and so it's same thing with the United States of America, you know. But you have to live, you see. But if you want to become a United States citizen, You have to be at least 18 years old, and you have a lawful permit of the green card holder. And you have to be in the state applying for citizenship for at least 3 months. See? So that's what you have to do if you want to become a United States citizen. But what about a Taiwanese citizen? I haven't looked into that yet. Well, right here, see? You have to be general assigned in Taiwan for at least 5 consecutive years, demonstrating the proficiency in Mandarin Chinese, and also the requirements of no criminal record, and usually not needed to renounce proficiency nationality. If you are married to a Taiwanese citizen, this requirement may be reduced to 3 years. So yeah, you have to live in Taiwan for at least 5 years, and then in maximum 3 is 1 years per year, and then if you're married to a Chinese citizen, your married might reduce 3 years. Now the original ministry is you need to demonstrate its extended Mandarin Chinese, and you have to be clean of criminal records necessary, and you need to well, you only need to worry about that, but first of all, so yes, but Taiwan does accept those in citizenship, see? So yeah, see right here, sissy. You see, Taiwan does accept dual citizenship. Many individuals are born Taiwanese and can hold both Taiwanese citizenship and another nationality without having renounced once. You see, nationalities of Taiwanese extensions of residence and gain Taiwanese citizenship. So yes, Taiwan does allow dual citizenship. So yes, he can be, yeah. And guess what? United States does too. You see, United States does allow dual citizenship. The government does not require citizens to give up their citizenship in their country of origin. So yes, you could become an American citizen and a Taiwanese citizen if you want to, and this is that's great about the U.S. and Taiwan. So yes, United States is the better place to live in China, and also Taiwan's a better place to live in China as well. So yes, but I think the best place to live is the United States. So yeah, China only accepts one citizenship, just one. So yes, and I believe a lot of European countries does accept dual citizenship too. Like I believe the UK, Italy, Spain, Portugal, Germany probably do accept dual citizenship. And I believe Mexico also accepts it too. I believe, yeah. Oh, and also there's a lot of other North American countries like Canada, Mexico also takes dual citizenship as well. Some other countries Australia probably does too. I don't know about African countries, but still. So you're testing, okay? So yes. So, like last time, drinking beer in public is not freedom, because you can drink beer everywhere. You can drink in public everywhere, including in China. And yes, and I was using barefoot in public, being barefoot in public as an example, but that's not freedom either. You can be barefoot in public and everywhere, including in China. So that's not freedom either. But I was using an example. And learning Mandarin is, learning a new language is not freedom either. So, because you can learn a new language and still not be free. So, that's another problem. Okay? So my answer is this, guys. Are you able to criticize? Are you able to become a Christian in China? Are you able to become a Christian? Or are you able to, or can you criticize the government? Or can you play video games? Or get on the internet? Because the internet, I know a lot of stuff. And you see, if you can't criticize, if you can't become a Christian, then you don't have religious freedom. And if you couldn't criticize the government, you don't have political freedom at all. And if you can't play video games and you can't, and the internet is blocked, and that means those things are prohibited, and they're not, and that means your country's not free. And that's how it is. That's how China is, and that makes China a terrible place to live. The United States is a great place to live because you can become a Christian and you can criticize the government, and you can also play video games, and you can get on the internet with no problem. And yes, same thing with Taiwan, and both the United States and Taiwan both accept dual citizenship, while China accepts only one. So that's why you should live in the United States. I don't know about Taiwan, but if you do live in Taiwan, you can let me know. How great it is over there, because I don't know very much about Taiwan at all anyway, so I don't know if anybody in Taiwan is watching YouTube, but hopefully, and yes, I do believe that Taiwan is a democratic country. I am I'm backing up the Taiwanese people, because, the Bible says not to bear false witness against thy neighbors, so that's why. And that's what I believe anyway. So please, don't listen to the CTP shills, Move, if you live in, learn about the U.S. and learn how great it is, and then if you decide to move here, you know what, that's great. I would like to learn more about Taiwan, so. And yes, the United States does accept dual citizenship, and I heard it's the same thing for Taiwan as well. So hopefully you can learn that the United States is a great place to live, and hopefully, I don't know, I'm not so sure about Taiwan. I just look at the pros and cons about Taiwan. I'm going to have to take a look more about that. But China is a terrible place, but yeah, China is a terrible place to live. Don't move there. Just stay here. Oh yeah, just move. Or yeah, if you want to if you want to the United States, or you can stay here in the United States or move here to the United States. The United States is a great place to live. Is Taiwan a great place to live? I don't know. I still have to figure that out too. But but hopefully I can learn more about that. But I think right now the United States is a great place to live, and plus you can preach the Bible here, and you can learn many languages here too, because there's also Spanish spoken here, and so is Mandarin, and other and many and some other and many other languages too, not just English. That's why. And I'm happy to have the United States flag flying around, with these 50 stars and 13 stripes. And I don't have to explain it, And it's really only get saved according to the Bible, okay? Only and false it is a damn souls to hell. They go to heaven and speak of our Lord Jesus Christ. Salvation is by faith and grace of Jesus Christ alone. Once you say by His business truth, you can't lose your salvation. His salvation you just believe in Jesus Christ for salvation. And I'm talking about the next video is called why does India and China have the most people on Earth? Well, I'll talk about that next video. Okay? Because I have to go right now. But thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. So goodbye. Adios. This is I-Chan.